Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Thank you. Well done for coming along. Well done for paying. Glorious to be here. It's a pleasure to be back, I have to say. I'm only back in the country for a couple of days. I am now living over among the English. I fucking love that reaction. We're really going to have to get over that eventually. You know that? We had, the awkwardness, as we should call it, between England and Ireland. The height of the awkwardness was a terrible thing altogether. I could hardly mention it. And now, of course, the reason we should drop the whole attitude is they're really nice to us now. They feel really embarrassed with the whole shitty jokes things and stuff like that. And at this age we've given them so many. Wayne Rooney is our last gift to the English, right? Christ Almighty. And there are many English who don't realise that he's Irish, right? And you kind of go, well, A, his name is Rooney, right? And B, look at the fucking head in him, right? That's not an international soccer star. That's a minor hurler from Offaly who got lucky. Jesus, and the joy of it is they think he's ugly. Fuck it, he'd be a god over here if he's still here. If we had Rooney, he'd be doing Mach 3 and moisturiser commercials by the end of the week. Look at him, look at the sunlight dancing off his ears, and it's glorious to see it. Listen to the wind as it whistles through his teeth. It says, Wayne! Was in Yorkshire. There's a train station in Yorkshire, right? And there's a train museum there, and they even have a model railway museum in Yorkshire, right? Just outside the train station, right? Where you pay, and a little, Hornby set trains go around, right? In little circles, right? And I went into the place. I had 40 minutes to kill. I gave your man £2.50 and said, "I'm going to have a look at the trains. My bag is here. Do you mind if I just leave it behind the counter?" And your man looks at me and goes, "Oh no, I don't think so. No, not with what your boys have been up to for the last 30 years." Right? Oh yeah. And to be fair, I've been living there for years. I've heard none of that except from this one guy. You go, fucking hell, right? And obviously, point A, right? I'm from Dublin, right? And point B, even at their most craven, I don't think the IRA ever said to themselves, "Do you know what will really break the spirit of the English, huh? If we blow up York Model Railway Station, they'll pull out of Northern Ireland by the end of the week if we do that. And I explained this in relatively blunt terms to your man, right? But your man topped me, because your man goes, no, after 9/11, I have to be extra careful. Fair point, touche, my friend. Because I'm sure right now Al-Qaeda are planning some sort of midnight attack where they break into York Model Railway Station and fly tiny airplanes into all of the buildings. My favourite of all those, right, I have told before, I was in Liverpool, right, and I'd done some stuff about, I used to do a show about my granny and the IRA and all the old IRA and all this kind of stuff, right, and I would talk about how my granny fought in the War of Independence, and there was a big military funeral for her, and anyway, that's a while ago now. But I did the story in Liverpool, right, and some bloke up to me, well-built, stocky bloke, real squaddy type, right, came up to me and go, "That's very interesting." I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, it's very interesting saying about your granny being in the IRA." I said, "Oh, do you think that was interesting?" He goes, "Yeah, because I got two friends who were stationed in the north, and they were killed over there." That'd be exactly my response as well at that stage. A giant thought bubble with fucking nothing inside it. Right? I'm aware of a number of things. Firstly, no amount of Irish charm is going to talk you out of that situation. Right? No amount of, "Isn't it an awful, awful, awful thing? It is indeed. Toodaloo, my God, it's an awful thing. The sons of the taken away." Not going to work, right? The other thing is, I could give him a pot of history, because my granny was the old IRA, like, obviously, she's my granny, for fuck's sakes, right? And she was never called up in living memory. I don't remember ever my granny, the phone ringing, and they're going, "What? Oh, I'm back on, all right." So her war was over many, many years ago, finished even before the Civil War, right? But so I was going, well, do I give a potted history of Ireland? Do I say, well, listen, there's a huge difference in context between the war that your friends were killed in and the one that my grandmother fought in. I mean, like, and she was there in 1918, and then after that there was the War of Independence, and then there was the foundation of Fianna Fáil, a slightly constitutional political party, and then the Curragh Camp interments and the drawings of gun out of Irish politics, and then the period of dormancy up until the 1960s when the Civil Rights March kicked off, like whatever, and then the British Army arrived in ostensibly to protect the nationalist community, but then went hideously wrong around the time of the Rats of Derry, and then the whole fucking thing kicked off, and then your guys arrived in, right? That was plan A, right? The one thing I love about that, actually, the joy of it is, right, you're all being very polite with the round of applause because you recognise the bit that I've clearly learnt off, but really, mainly, and like, in a way that I don't get in England, you're all sitting there going, you left a lot out. Frankly, that was a very trite reading of the last century of Irish politics, sorry, you know, like, I mean, the foundation of the Republic, the Constitution, anyway, there's lots more to it. But I said to them, I'm going, this isn't going to fucking work, right, okay, grand. I'm thinking, well, plan B is clearly duck and roll. Oh, look, a bright light, and then run away really quickly. But your man has been pincered in, like, or whatever, I'm trapped into him, like, and this is a completely true story. Your man leads in and goes, yeah, they're in an army truck in the north, right? And I'm going, really? And he goes, yeah. And a tree fell on them. And I genuinely looked at this bloke and said, are you about to tell me that the IRA planted it? And I'm not making that story up. Your man leans in and goes, yeah, have you heard that one before? Fucking petrified. I was at a religious service recently. I was at a mass between a guy from... Because there is a kind of a tendency, you know the way we all think, we're gas and the Huns are mad. And we have no real idea what they do, right? And it's all the Protestants are crazy. And I was actually at a mixed wedding during the year between a girl from Cork who's Catholic and a guy from Protestant. You know, that strange country with their weird habits. From Edinburgh, who's Protestant, right? And it is, and I know the general instinct is I've always found, of a certain generation in this country to go, oh, a mixed marriage, oh, jeez, a mixed, oh God, it'll never work. The kids will be freaks. They'll all have 6 fingers, they'll all be wandering around, they'll be hideous, like whatever. And I went along to the service thinking, oh, this is going to be very interesting, it'll be very different, I wonder what they do. It's fucking exactly the same. It is word for word the same fucking service between the Catholics. It's exact, and there was no stage where we're looking over the going, Jesus, do you do that? That's mad shit. That's unbelievable. God, isn't it great to see it, Mary? How Jesus went out. It's exactly the same. It's not a fucking mixed marriage at all, right? There's nothing different in it slightly. A mixed marriage is one half of the church going Mazel Tov, and the other side firing guns in the air. That's a fucking mixed marriage, right? A mixed marriage is one side of the church with a big paper dragon that they're running up and down like that. While on the other side, there's men with spears just hopping up and down. That's a mixed relationship, right? Oh, those Kenyan Sino relationships, they're notoriously difficult to keep going after the honeymoon period. It doesn't matter how nice the flat is in Hong Kong, you can take the boy out of the Masai Mara, he's going to want to kill a lion eventually. And that's going to fuck up your feng shui, right? There were no differences at all. The hymns, there was a little difference in the hymns. Jesus, the Protestants love the hymns. On and on and on the fucking hymns went. Verse after verse. That's not us. We do Christ and Shield, up, down, thank you very much, right? End of it, right? Jesus, they went on for ages, the fucking, and we weren't going to be showing up. The Catholic side of the church was belting it out, good, all right? We were singing just as well as we were not going to be showing up, but we hadn't trained. By the end of it, we were swaying forward and back with altitude sickness, going, Jesus, how fucking long is this thing? Am I going to hell anyway just for singing along? Right? And then we got to the finest audience participation part of all, the Lord's Prayer, right? The Lord's Prayer, great thing. Comes back to me now and drove the whole Lord's Prayer thing. Do love the whole Lord's Prayer thing. Obviously, I've forgotten large chunks of it, as you do in these kind of things. My vague memories for a long time were that involved bread and trespassing. Gets a lot of mentions in the Lord's Prayer. Even as a child, you're going, what the fuck is up with the trespassing? Was there a lot of trespassing at the time? Was it a major social evil in Galilee at the time? Were people constantly vaulting over fences and taking shortcuts through other people's property? Was Christ himself writing the prayer going, Jesus, if those fucking kids don't get out of my garden now? That's it. It's going in the fucking prayer. The trespassing is going in the fucking prayer. No more fucking trespassing, right? I won't trespass against you, and you won't fucking trespass against me. It's a bizarre thing. It's like a fucking small business document of some description, and no trespassing, right? There should be a bit at the bottom that goes, lovely to touch, lovely to hold, but if you break it, consider it sold. Ladies and gentlemen, joy to see you. I'm Dara O'Briain. Thank you very much. Good night, goodbye, good luck.